everyone. My name is Rashmi, and welcome to the POV podcast. Today's topic is going to be modern relationships and dating. And for that, we have an expert with us today. We have my college friend, Hetvi, who has a major in psychology from University of East London. And we'll be sharing a lot of information. And just to let you know before that we're not influencers, we are not like pros in this. We just want to share some information, not for any likes, views, or comments, but just like a generic, video which tells you more about modern dating and relationships. So yeah, over to you, Hetvi.
Thank you so much, Rashmi, for doing this. I think, as you said, we're not doing this to get famous or, get anything out of it. But I think we are all in the same boat when it comes to relationships and datings, especially right now. So, as a psychologist as well, I wish that I could maybe give my perspective out there, and hopefully it helps you. So yeah, other than that, thank you so much, Rashmi, again for inviting me. And how did you come about with the idea of the POV girl?
Okay, so POV podcast is actually a byproduct of the POV girl. Nothing, just very random, and it gained good followers and good views and stuff. So I just thought maybe, this video, like I said, it can garner some, like some enlightenment to people who are actually looking for, ideas, people who don't know all these things, like like the terms and a psychological perspective to, all the new terms and trends in dating that we have. And I thought, you would be the right fit because I know you are also not someone who is, here to be like, oh, so many views and stuff. And I loved your videos, so I thought maybe you would be the right fit for this.
Oh, thank you so much for saying that. And I think same. I have followed your content. It's so relatable. That's what we are trying to do. Make sure that that we all relate to each other on some way, in some way, and we are just trying to get our perspective out there. So yep.
Okay, so diving right in, we have, I would like to ask you some questions, which I feel like are relatable for a lot of people. And maybe we can do a live later where people can actually ask you, questions on the spot, but we'll just cover a little bit of the modern dating.
Yeah.
So, Hetvi, why are people struggling to find the right fit or have a good dating life, if I may ask?
I think having said that there are so many options available right now. When anybody enters this dating game, there is so much information out there. I mean, we know everything about everyone, through social media. So even if there is a person out there that we want to quote or we would like to see them, we already know so much about them, and we have this kind of a mental image or like a sort of idea in our own heads once we have followed them online. And then comes the dating apps, the jungle out there, which is very scary to be honest. But we have so many options to choose from that we are currently having a paradox of choices. We are confused that, okay, will should I go out with this person, should I wait for this person, or um, and I would also like to add that all of these things are super overwhelming to us, that they actually, rather than direct us into good dating habits or maybe seeing people who are good for us, they
Mm-hmm.
are kind of restraining us, and it is overwhelming at some point that we just leave it. We don't, I would download Hinge one day and the next day I'll be like, I'm not going to look at it at all because I don't want to. So it is overwhelming. And I would also say that right now, dating sometimes it's not our priority. We have put it on a secondary pedestal where our work or ambition has come first. So because we are a very we are an ambitious generation. We have actually overloaded with work, and so it is difficult for us to take that time out and say that, okay, I'm going to meet this person this week and the next person the next week. So all of these things are overwhelming, plus that you add mind games, and then you add how people are and how people are raised in different cultures. All of these things coming together are creating a sort of a dating culture which is not that helping, which is not helping us currently. So I think that's why it is literally hard to date right now. It is not that easy. Yeah.
Mhm. No, definitely. I mean, I'm not saying it from personal experience, but I think what you said is pretty much true because anyone I meet, who is like maybe in their 20s or their 30s, it's very difficult for people. Maybe it's not the mindset, like you said, or the cultural background. And even when you're open to, everything and just say, okay, let me give this a chance, something or the other goes wrong. And it's really hard to find because of the options available that we have on all these dating apps and stuff.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
moving on. Having said that, we have so many, difficulties finding a good partner. So now that I have a good partner, I'm in a good relationship.
yeah,
Why is it so hard to leave that comfort zone? Why are people still into relationships which are not good for them?
yeah,
Or
yeah,
why do people choose to go into relationships which might not be good for them? Like we are mature enough, we know
yeah,
that this relationship might not be good for us, or we're already into a relationship. I know a
yeah.
lot of people who are, there for 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, not happy. Why is it that we still choose to remain in that toxic, if I may say, relationship, or get into that toxic relationship?
I think definitely. I think it's we at the end of the day are social animals. I would say that if you look back 50 years ago or something like that, the we were not that individualistic. Our society was very much dependent on each other. Someone would be taking care of the money, someone would be taking care of the children, and there were roles assigned, and we were not necessarily a one person handling it all unit. But right now I think we anybody can do everything alone in some sort of the way. And that culture, I would not blame it completely on the individualistic culture, but I would say that whenever once we are in this society and we meet somebody who is nice to us at first, or if we meet somebody who is who seems like somebody that we could date, we get into it. And then it is really difficult to leave that, even if it is hard, because there are so many expectations already onto each other, that okay, this person will be better for me in the future, or they will live up to it in due course, in some time, in some months maybe. So I think if you talk about toxicity as well, like toxic relationship dynamics, and two people who are not right for each other, and it's affecting them especially mentally and physically, I think it is because we are lonely as a generation. We are having a lot of shallow connections. We have each other, we can contact each other, we can meet each other on social media, but we are not going into the depth of relationships, and be it any kind of relationships, even platonic relationships. So I think there is a pattern that develops over time as well. Once we are with somebody who is not right for us, that pattern becomes a habit, so it's even more difficult to leave.
Yeah.
But I think somebody who knows that they are in this thing and they would like to leave, that awareness is also really a very good step. And and hopefully people do understand it in time, that they should move past it, or find someone else. So yeah.
Okay, that's very useful actually because a lot of people don't know where to start from. I think you said awareness. I think that is very important, and self-awareness is definitely important rather than a third person coming and telling you.
Yeah,
But of
yeah.
course, I won't discuss more on this. I think you already gave us an answer, and I'm not the expert here. So, Hetvi, this is a very interesting question that actually you put out.
Mm-hmm.
All these terms like love bombing, what was
Mm-hmm.
that? Gaslighting, ghosting. Can you please explain that to us? It's all over social media, and me personally, I don't know these terms. So if you could please explain that.
Oh my God, like all of these terms, gaslighting, love bombing, ghosting each other, there are so many more complicated ones, like being twin flames and being in karmic relationships and
Oh yeah.
being divine feminine. I mean, this is too much. Okay.
Hmm.
First of all, just as a psychological counselor and an expert, I would say that please do not self-diagnose yourself or your relationships, because the information out there might be true, but you don't know if it applies to you or not. You might not be in a narcissistic abusive relationship, so you don't know. Coming back to your question, Rashmi, I think we are talking about dating in general, right? Not relationships which have been people who have been together for years on end. When we talk about dating, I think when people ghost each other or love bomb each other, when as ghosting goes, that you talk for a few days and then you disappear for days on end, and then come back with this grand gestures of love, and that is love bombing. And it confuses an individual because you are like, okay, this is inconsistent and my feelings are all over the place. I was waiting for you, I was not waiting for you. I'm overwhelmed, I'm anxious, and am I dating the right person, or am I going to stay or not? Too many things happening inside a person who goes through it, and even the person who is actually on the other end as well. I would say in the beginning, I don't think you should take the phases of ghosting or love bombing that seriously, because in the beginning you should not be that much invested any which way. Somebody who is ghosting you or love bombing you is not prioritizing the relationship as much as you are.
Mm-hmm.
um, and if it follows, and if it still is something which is an issue after 6 months or so, then I think definitely you should, give some thought about you both being together, or maybe talk it out and see that, okay, this is not going to work out, you know. Other than that, I think gaslighting is a bigger problem because it comes from a place of being manipulated about, somebody who is blaming you for the problem that they have created. And so to speak, gaslighters have been gaslighters even for their friends and family. This is not necessarily that they are, they're doing it in this romantic relationship. So I
Oh,
think,
okay.
yeah, if you feel like you have been, gaslit over some situations, or you feel that this is something which is affecting you, and you can see the manipulation working, in the other person, I think you can point it out to them. And if they actually care about you, they would try to change it. That's what we would hope, that in the due course, you would become better individuals. And yeah, so I think it is about the time and the place of where you both are in your relationship, and these terms are okay at the start because you should not be that much invested. And you should not prioritize it over other things in your life. But of course, when the relationship grows, that things become more important, and then you should
Right.
there seek help or see how things are. Yeah,
Yeah, we can definitely come to you and ask you, maybe we should not self-diagnose and go to Hetvi and drop her a DM
yeah,
and
yeah,
tell
you.
her. Maybe she can examine it for you rather than we being gurus and experts on this. Because
Yeah.
these reels on Instagram, they're crazy. Like you self-diagnose, like you said. So guys, don't do it. Go to her.
Yes, yes, thank you. Yes, please do. I would definitely help one of you out, and the other one as well. Let's hope for the best. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, and finally, now that we have discussed all the bad or the good parts, I wouldn't say it's bad because we're just, making us self-aware of what is happening exactly. My last question would be, what things should we consider? What should we take into consideration when we are, looking out for relationships like these? What should we not do or maybe do? At
Yeah.
least, start with a decent relationship, I would
Yeah.
say, and look for a decent match.
Yeah, I think anybody who is in a way looking out for love, or looking out for like just meeting someone special, I think right now we are at that place where like, I want to meet somebody special, and hopefully it grows into something which is,
Yeah.
which last for the rest of my life, or
Mm-hmm.
yeah, to meet somebody that you would eventually fall in love with. I think first of all, anybody who is out there and is between all of these things, you maybe if you're using dating apps, or if you have never used it, or you are just confused where to start, I think even if you're asking yourself that question, that's a huge kudos to you, because I feel a lot of people are restraining themselves these days. There was a recent newsletter by one of my favorite writers, Mark Manson, who said that, actually people these days are choosing to be single. Like they are not dating, they are not, trying to put themselves out there. So I feel that if you are in that space of putting yourself out there, you should take chances, and give yourself that kind of space and patience, that it might not work out with this person, maybe it would work out with someone else. Other than that, I would say that look out for friendship. um, try to find somebody that you can go grocery shopping with. It always works out, because that would create a very strong bond per se, that is always a good sign that it will lead into become a good relationship.
Mhm.
So I think this is what something that I would tell to anybody who's looking out for love. Yeah.
Definitely. No, this was really insightful, Hetvi. I think a lot of people might have learned from this
Yeah.
and, gotten some idea of what things are. And again,
Mhm.
like we earlier said, both of us, Hetvi and I, we don't mean to influence you or, try to, say that, oh, we're experts. However,
Yeah.
Hetvi is in whatever field of study that she has. But yeah, reach out to her, feel free. And we're planning to do a live session. Let us know what topics you want us to cover or something that you would like to know.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll give, like I said, our main aim is not for the likes and views, but if you could, like or let us know how you feel about this podcast, it would really help. A lot of, time and effort goes into these, I'm sure you guys know. So that would be really helpful for both Hetri and I, and it will keep us motivated also. So
Yes.
yeah, please, any bidding passing words, Hetri, anything you want to say or add at the end?
I think, see, the modern dating culture is a jungle, and it is not that easy to put this into a small podcast. But I'm so happy to Rashmi for giving me the chance to at least, speak and, share our thoughts about it, because it is
Yeah,
very interesting. I think we are all looking out for somebody, some companionship at the end of the day. So
100%.
say that hold on, I think that we as a society, as a generation, will improve our own dating culture if we are more aware. And
Mm.
if you actually need any professional advice, you can just DM me. I think we'll share all of our details below in the captions, and you'll know everything about us. And if you're looking out for some one-on-one counseling sessions, please do reach out. And yeah, hoping the best for you. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you liked it, and do let us know how you liked it. Even if it's something bad, good, let us know. We can always improve. Like I said, we're not professionals. So,
Yeah.
yeah, bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.